Hello, welcome to a brand spanking new episode of the Melanin Mayhem podcast, hosted by your favorite country girl, Renee Davis. Oh, if today is your first time dipping your toe into the pool of mayhem, welcome, darling. The water's fine. Come right on in. Let me tell you what you've gotten yourself into today. You see, I, your hostess with the mostest, I bring you the stories of some of the most heinous. Ooh, I'm talking diabolical and downright audacious crimes committed by some melanated baddies that you may or may not have ever heard of. But either way, baby, it don't matter. You have never heard the story the way the country girl tell it. Baby, and I have to do what I do because there's this pervasive myth out here in the world that there are certain types of crimes that black people don't commit. Honey, cap all day long. Because, baby, we've been doing it since way back when. And I am here to spill all the tea on what we've been doing, how we were doing it, and to make sure you are up on what you need to be up on. So go ahead, get yourself comfortable, and prepare to be entertained and informed. Now for a little PDA with my boo things. Hey, New Orleans Nation. Ooh. I missed y'all so much. Oh, Lord. I needed y'all this week. Your girl got into a little bit of a accident last weekend trying to go downtown and go do some FIFA stuff, and on our way back home somebody couldn't stop in enough time and ran into my baby, the brand new car that I'm still making payments on. I was heated for a little minute, but that's all right, baby. We can replace and repair all things that are material. But me and my boo, the grandbaby, y'all know her, little miss. Ooh, Nana, you did that. She was in the car with me, so she's okay. I'm okay. We're both getting the treatment that we need, which brings me to my next thing. Y'all, I got Essence this weekend, and I was planning on dropping it like it was hot. I don't know who I'm fooling. Honey, with this knee, I might have been able to drop it like it was lukewarm. A little tepid. Child, I don't know. I'm still going because, baby, if I can't do nothing else, I can eat my way through New Orleans and spend my time mixing and mingling with the peoples. I hear these lobbies be lit in the hotels, so I can't wait. I hope to see as many of you as I can. Please be sure to hit me up if you are in the place to be. And maybe we can do some tings. What else do we have? The Melanin Mayhem original story series. Ooh, honey, it's going down over there. And if you know, you know. Baby, these alternate endings are everything. I'm so glad that y'all are enjoying it and allowing me to expand my horizons a little bit. Sometimes you can get put into a box, and I have never been that type. I've always wanted to be outside of the box. When everybody else was going left, I wanted to go right. Let me go straight. Let me see what else I can do. And I encourage as many of you as possible to do the same thing. Don't worry about who don't think it's a good idea or who think you crazy. Honey, if you think it's a good idea and your spirit is telling you to do something, then do it, baby. They talked about Jesus. He couldn't even perform his miracles right. Everybody had something to say. So, baby, if they could do it to sweet Jesus, we don't stand a chance. So go on ahead and do it anyway. I don't know who that was for, but that was on my spirit. And while we talking, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Baby, I need all of that. Don't forget. Don't keep the country girl to yourself. You got to share me. You got to be, what's the word? Polygamous. That's not the word, Nate. Polygamous is not the word. But get on out there and share that thing. Be friendly with the country girl. Tell all your friends and the peoples that you work with and those over at the church about how you get down with the Melanin Mayhem peeps. They can become a part of the New Orleans Nation. Our doors are always open. Don't forget, the website is there for all of your merchandise needs. That is melaninmayhempodcast.com. And what else? Our Facebook group on the socials. Don't forget, we have this great private discussion group. It's the Melanin Mayhem Podcast discussion group. I know, original name, right? You can get down over there. They say I need to remember to put all of this out because, I get to talking and I have forgotten that, you have things that you need to promote. So blame it on my head, not my heart. But I think that's all we have for church announcements today. I was going to go in a different direction for today's story. I had one picked out, but it was very, very heavy. And the more I was writing and researching, the madder I got, and it was pissing me off. And I really didn't want to go to New Orleans with my spirit all despondent or whatever, because it was a heavy case. And I figured, we can do a little palate cleanser type situation. And, I like to keep you on your toes. And I found a good one for us to talk about today because, ooh, my Lord, y'all ain't gonna believe the tomfoolery that I have dug up. We have talked about all mannerisms of serial killers on this here podcast. Yes, indeed we have. And I think we have touched on the depraved from all angles. But baby, today, the one I got for you, let's just say there's serial killing and then there's what the fuck is this? Now, this person that we're going to talk about today, our mayhem maker, as far as a body count goes, it's fairly low. But baby, it is the victim in this story that is going to just make you clutch your pearls. Your flabels are gonna be gasted because it's crazy, y'all, that this actually happened, that this is a true story. So the dude we're going to talk about today was diabolical. And it was crazy because he was not diabolical in the sense that we always think a stranger coming up on women and taking advantage of them and killing them and all of that. No, this one here was straight up in your face, deceiving women. And it was love and marriage and all of these things. And then there was death. And the nigga got away with it. Like, again, as a palate cleanser, we still gonna get into some killing and dealing and all that. But baby, this one here is one of those, ooh, we nay. What the hell is this? So without further ado, let me go on ahead and drag this motherfucker to the front of the congregation for a proper read. This week's Melanin Mayhem maker is Mr. Theodore Johnson.
Welcome to a new era of baseball's great spectacle, the T-Mobile Home Run Derby, live on Netflix. The biggest sluggers in baseball put their talents to the test on All-Star Weekend. Raw power meets star power. Big swagger meets bigger slams. And you don't swing to make contact. You swing to make history. Watch the T-Mobile Home Run Derby live on Netflix, Monday, July 13th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific.
All right, Newer Nation, let's get into the reason for the streaming. Theodore Johnson was born in 1954 in Jamaica. Now, I have no idea who his parents were, but I do know that he had 10 siblings. So this is a big old family of 11. Ooh, child, they don't make them like that no more. And apparently, they made their living working on a banana plantation. And Theodore did that for however many years. And then in 1980, he decided that he was going to get the hell up out of there. But he wasn't going by himself. Oh no, honey. Somewhere in between working on the banana plantation, Theodore found love. Young lady named Yvonne. So her and Theodore, they're courting and whatever. And so they're going to move away from the island for a better life. And, that happens typically in all kinds of relationships, right? And so in 1980, by this time, Theodore and Yvonne have gotten married. So now she's Yvonne Johnson. Well, they moved to the United Kingdom and they're living in a little high rise or whatever in London. I think the neighborhood that they moved to was called Wolverhampton. And so that's a suburb of London or whatever the case. But they living and they loving and they doing what they do, right? Well, all was not well in the Johnson home, apparently. I can say with a fair amount of confidence that Yvonne was the church going type. And ain't nothing wrong with that because, I love to follow up in that thing. But one particular day, one Sunday in 1981, I'm thinking it was like end of October, beginning of November, Yvonne and her husband, Theodore, I'm going to call him Theo, her and Theo got into a little argument, if you will. They were getting ready to go to church. And so Yvonne has dressed herself and Theodore, our boy Theo, he comes out and for whatever reason, whatever it was that he had on, Yvonne wasn't feeling it. She wanted him to change. And as a child growing up in the church, I've had one or two occasions where what I had on wasn't sufficient enough to go up in there and praise the Lord, and I didn't have to change my clothes. It wasn't no big deal, you know what I'm saying? Because there's always something else in there. Well, for your boy Theo, he was not pleased that Yvonne had the absolute nerve, gall, and audacity to want him to change his clothes. Maybe he was on some God says come as you are type shit. I don't know. But you would think that this would be just a tete-a-tete between a married couple. Either he gonna change his clothes and go to church with Yvonne, or she gonna go on to church and leave his ass at home. Honey, that is not what happened here. Baby, this went from 0 to Yvonne meeting Jesus in 2.2 seconds. Y'all, tell me why this motherfucker hit Yvonne upside the head with a vase. A motherfucking vase. The thing that has the flowers in it. A vase. I'm country, but I know some other ways to say it. Or a vase. Yeah, I know. But he hit her upside the head with that, y'all. And he was not through. I told y'all they lived in a high rise. They lived on the 9th floor. Baby, tell me why this motherfucker pushed Yvonne off the motherfucking balcony. Ooh, yes he did. That's what I said. Off the balcony. And why? Because she wanted him to change his clothes. He done went upside her head with a vase and pushed her off the balcony from the 9th goddamn floor. Wow. Now, mind you, this is 1981, 1961. So I say that to say that this was a modern enough time, right? We was fairly evolved in the 80s. And so when they came and got Theo's puss ass when Yvonne hit that motherfucking pavement, he goes to jail. He does. And he is charged with her murder. Well, by the time it goes to trial in November of 1981, they moved fast over there in the UK, they convicted him of manslaughter. And it was manslaughter by reason of provocation. And they sentenced him to 3 motherfucking years. Let's unpack this for a minute. Manslaughter, okay, whatever. But what is by reason of provocation? What the fuck was the provocation? Her wanting him to change his clothes to go praise the Lord? That was enough provocation to push a bitch off the goddamn balcony? 3 years? 3 years. 36 months for killing Yvonne. Cause he ain't want to change his clothes, but he want to go put on a prison uniform. You don't mind putting that on? And can we just say it again? 3 years? I for killing someone, taking someone's life. He unalived her in the most splatterific way one could, because that was a quick, painful death for that woman. At least you can hope and pray that it was, because if she didn't die as soon as she hit that goddamn pavement from the motherfucking 9th floor, oh my God, can you imagine the pain? 3 years. 36 months. So this all went down November of 1981, and in 1984, he out. 1984, you kill somebody, you really shouldn't be able to see the rest of that decade. You know what I'm saying? You for taking somebody's life, it should just be an automatic 10 years. God damn. 3 years? Mm-mm-mm. So yeah, 1984, Theodore is out and he is still moving and grooving about London and doing what he do. And about 8 years later, he meets another woman. Her name, Yvonne Bennett. Yeah, he seemed to have a thing for them Yvonnes. I guess it's easier. You ain't got to wonder about what name you saying shit. It's if everybody named Yvonne, you ain't got to ever worry about saying the wrong name out. But whatever the case may be, he hooks up with Yvonne Bennett. This is around 1992. And at this point, Theo is like 38 years old. And so him and Yvonne, they kicking it or whatever. You know, Theo's a lover boy and he love hard. And so they do what they do and then they have a little girl. Aw, baby, that sounds so wonderful. Well, that was just one fly in the ointment, if you will. According to word on the curb, Yvonne had a friendly coochie. She liked to take that thing somewhere else other than with Theo's ass. And at some point in time, Theo found out about the friendliness of his old lady coochie. Well, they get into it and Theo gets put out. This my house, get the fuck out, whatever. Me and my baby gonna stay here, whatever. You know how that shit go. But Yvonne number two, she don't know what happened with Yvonne number one. You know what I'm saying? She ain't got no clue. She actually thinking she dealing with a dude who is sane and his elevator go all the way to the top. She has no idea that Yvonne number one went down the expressway to the pavement. And so when she put this man out, what Theo do? He turns into a stalker. And everywhere Yvonne go, his ass popping up. He all at the house. She can't move without running into Theo ass. Well, a year later, 1993, their daughter is 2 years old at this point, and she's in the house upstairs sleeping. Yvonne, number two, is downstairs, you know, doing what she do. In some kind of way, Theo comes up. She lets him in. He breaks in. I don't know how he gets into the house, but Theo is in the house with Yvonne. Baby, tell me why this motherfucker strangled Yvonne with a belt. Yes. Killed Yvonne number one. Pushed her off the balcony. Yvonne number two took her breath away. So, you would think that this is, sure enough, we're going to get his ass now. Let me tell you something. Your boy Theo, you know how they say some people run hot and cold? Theo is the type that do something extreme and then he needs to then do something extreme to himself to match the extremeness of whatever it was he did to somebody else. And this somebody else, you're going to find out, is usually his old lady. So Theo, after he strangles Yvonne number two, Miss Bennett, he calls the police and tells them exactly what the fuck he just did. Yes, that is exactly what I said. This nigga snitched on himself. He killed Yvonne and then he didn't leave her. He called him and said, hey, I just fucked her up. She ain't breathing no more. Y'all might want to come over here and handle this little situation, right? But this is where the extremeness to himself comes in. He so overcome with emotion, he don't want to be here no more. So he is about to try to unalive himself by swinging by his neck from a tree. You heard me. This motherfucker, some kind of way, I don't know if he had a rope, some bed sheets or whatever, but he done went outside and strung himself up, lynching style, and tried to kill himself. But you hear the operative word there is tried, because it did not work. All you did was goddamn get some carpet burns, razor abrasions on your neck, because you still riding this motherfucker. And guess what? You still got to account for killing Yvonne number two. So he goes to trial and his defense lawyers are like, look, clearly this nigga's cheese has slid off his crackle. And because of that, I think instead of sending him to prison, he need to go suck jello through a straw at the nut house. And so they were like, okay, if you say so, that sounds good to us. And that is exactly what they did. Instead of sentencing him to prison, they sent him to a mental institution. Well, You would think that a man who by this point has killed two women, not just strangers. These were women that he professed to love. One, his wife, one he playing house with because he's got a child with. He has took both of them out of the game. And what about the baby? The 2-year-old baby, like, you done took her mama away. What about the baby? Let me tell you something. The baby never comes up again. That 2-year-old might as well have disappeared like a figment of someone's imagination. I can only assume that Yvonne Bennett's people, maybe her parents, took their grandchild in, because this kid, Theo's daughter, has never ever been around him ever again. And of course I can understand why. But okay, so he's in this mental institution, right? And as such, he's being evaluated and going to therapy and all this, that, and the other. Well, 12 months after his, shall we say, involuntary stay, they let him start going out into the community with a companion. This starts in September of 1994. Y'all, he just killed Yvonne last year. God damn it, it ain't even been 12 months yet, has it? September 1994. Like, what the fuck? So now he's able to go out in the community with somebody, a member of the staff from the mental institution, okay? And so they do that, and then about 6-7 months later, mid-year 1995, they get this crazy motherfucker a 2-day pass to go out by himself so he can go take some classes. And guess what he was taking? Furniture restoration. They had this government-run school called City and Guilds. And, you know, since it was government-run and he was ward of the government, he could go over there and take some classes to better himself, to prepare him for perhaps a life on the outside. But why the fuck would we be preparing him for a life on the outside if this motherfucker done killed two women that he loved? He killed them. And we gonna get him ready to come back out and do it again? Yeah, I would think that was just a crazy notion, but it's not. Wait, just keep listening. And so he's doing his thing. He's going over to the school. He's learning how to restore furniture or whatever. And by this time, Theodore is 40 years old. So another year goes by. We find ourselves in 1996. And he's still going to this class. And this one particular day, he meets a woman named Angela. He's broken his Yvonne cycle. Now, this woman, Angela Best, she's 37 years old, and she is new to this particular area. She's moved here from another part of the UK, right? And so because she is new to the area and perhaps there was not a lot of media coverage over double Yvonne dying up in this motherfucker, Angela ain't got no clue about what the fuck Theodore Johnson has been up to, right? And so she just knows she going taking this class and she met this dude and he seen whatever. And over time, he becomes something like a boyfriend, plaything, whatever you want to call it. But it boggles my mind because Theodore lived at the goddamn mental institution. He can only come out 2 days a week and that's it. So how the hell did a love romance blossom from this? But okay, stranger things happen. I mean, this niggas that's locked down for life and they married and met somebody since their incarceration. So I guess anything is possible. He was free and able to move about the world 2 goddamn days out of the 7-day week. And so even though he is in a mental institution for killing 2 women, Angela has no idea that this man that she is falling for is a killer, and not just any kind of killer, but the kind of killing killer that kills the women he loves. Angela, girl, you better run, honey, run. Now, so the relationship is moving slow, clearly, and he is, like I said, living at this mental institution full time. Now, after killing Yvonne with their baby upstairs and saying that he was mentally diminished, 3 years later, after he killed Yvonne, they say that they have fixed his elevator and it now goes all the way to the top floor, and they let his ass out. Yes, Theodore Johnson is free October 30th, 1997. And when I say free, I mean free. He ain't got no ankle monitor, none of that shit there, but it is a type of conditional release, if you will. Yes, you free. You can go and do what you want to do, but we got a couple of conditions for what you need to do and what you can and cannot do with your newfound freedom. 3 years after you killed Yvonne by strangling her ass to death. So the only condition of his release is that he had to swear to them that he would tell them if he got a girlfriend, if he wanted to kick it with a girl, if he got a girl phone number. And it was like, you swear? And he was like, indeed, I do. I will let you know if I find any woman that I want to connect with romantically. But mind you, all this time, him and Angela been kicking it. So what does he do when they open up the doors of the mental institution and let him go free? He 2 steps right on over to his girlfriend's house. Now understand, because he was being released conditionally, with this only being the condition of his release, as such, he had to have his own place. It wasn't like he could move in with Angela. And at this point in time, Angela got 4 kids. So, that probably might not have been a good look anyway. However, whatever, Theodore does indeed get his own apartment over in, what was it called? Dartmouth Park. And so the caseworkers or social workers or parole workers or whatever you want to call them, the people who were in charge of overseeing him on his conditional release, they come through from time to time, check out the place, see if he having any overnight guests. So they really are treating him like he is on parole, right? And so specifically, they have home visits that were recorded multiple times in 2006, 2011, 2015, and 2016, right? And so again, it's not like he was just out. There was supposed to be somebody that was looking out to see if there was any sign that this nigga might be fucking around with a woman, right? Well, one time when they came and did a pop-up visit, they found this wood carving. The type where it's got wood and there's something engraved in it. And the word that was engraved on this wood carving was love. That didn't cause no red flags to go up. Nigga, you don't love nobody? Nah, hell no. I don't think you can have around here is hate. But they didn't see nothing strange with that. On another visit, they found a leopard print robe. Angela, I see you, girl. It was Angela's. And they didn't think that was cause for confusion either. Like, no, nothing's going on here. He's like Holiday Heart. He just likes leopard in the feel of satin against his skin. What the fuck? They like, oh, Theodore, are you in a relationship? No. Are you having relations? No. Are you tricking off? No. Okay, have a good day. What? Like, oh my God. And this went on for years, y'all. Like, years. This man cannot be around a woman. He cannot enjoy the company of a woman. That is the condition of his release. They ain't got to drug test him. They don't have to send him to any type of classes or anything. They just got to make sure he don't start a relationship. And you mean to tell me you picking up little bitty clues and you don't think where there is smoke, even a little bit of smoke, that there is fire? Nope, they damn sure didn't. Honey. Okay, so he and Angela are kicking it. He's got his place. She's got hers. And, they doing grown folk shit. And this went on, like I said, for a while. Y'all remember, he got out in 97, keeping this relationship from the parole board for damn near 20 years. Yes, because it all went to hell in a handbasket in 2016. 1 year shy of being 2 goddamn decades of kicking it with Miss Angela. Now, at this point in time, Angela is 51 years old. Theo is 54, right? And, honestly, you would think that maybe at this age they would be through with the shenanigans, right? Wrong, because hell, I know for myself the shenanigans don't never stop. So it's 2016, and in all of this time that they have been kicking it, Angela has no clue of Theodore's background. But one day in 2016, Angela finds out that Theo has been locked up in a mental institution for killing his wife. And then she finds out that he killed his previous baby mama, right? And so she finds this out because I don't know if she was cleaning or snooping or whatever the case may be, but she found some letters that, I don't know, I guess Theo wrote, and it was describing the murders. And so I can only imagine poor Angela, out here trying to live her best life, been fucking with this nigga for damn near 2 decades. There's love there. You don't fuck around with nobody for 2 decades and not have some feelings up in that motherfucker. Only to find out that he is a lying liar that lies by omission. 20 goddamn years, and you just not finding out that he has been to prison for killing a wife by pushing her off the 9th floor, and he has been in the mental institution for strangling his baby mama with their 2-year-old daughter upstairs. Ooh, child, baby. I can only imagine the flabbers that was gasted in this motherfucker. But check this out. I do like the way that Angela handled it, because she was like, oh, hell to the no. Fuck them 20 years, nigga. You can kick rocks. And then she throwed his ass the deuces. Congratulations to you, Angela, because that was the absolute right thing to do. Danger, Will Rogers, danger. So, Angela, my type of girl, right? Your type of girl, right? Now, at 51, Angela still got a little pep in her step. And so now that she done kicked this nigga to the curb, she about to have her a hot granny summer, honey. Fuck nigga free. And Angela done fucked around. She wasn't wasting no time, baby. After she threw his ass the deuces, baby, you know what they say? The quickest way to get over one man is to get under another one. And that's exactly what Miss Angela did, baby. She went out and found her a new boo, baby. And Angela was around town talking about, ooh, this the happiest I have ever been in my life, honey. Ooh, he know how to treat a woman, baby. Come on, Zaddy. Yeah, Angela was on her get this shit, right? My baby. Well, word on the curb is that Theo ass was just going through it. He was getting his beg on the daily. Baby, please, baby. You know I love you, baby. Come on, baby. Baby, please. Baby, 20 years. Baby, you can't just throw that away like that. That nigga can't love you like I love you, baby. I love you. Broken record. And I'm sure that Angela would entertain his Keith Sweating from time to time when she felt like it, because again, 20 years is a long time. And even if she didn't want a romantic relationship with him, there was still love there for this nigga, right? Even knowing that he done killed the 2 women prior to you. You know what I'm saying? Now that part, I would have to have loved him from a distance. You know what I'm saying? Long handle spoon. We have to talk on the phone. We can text, but we can't never meet up in person ever again in life. I don't ever want you in my orbit like that. You know what I'm saying? But Angela, even though she was loud and proud about the fact that she didn't want him no more, she would still, check in on him and, probably go out to eat or whatever. I don't know, but there was still interaction between Theo and Angela. So we find ourselves holiday season 2016, December, right? On December 8th, Theo had a visit from the social worker parole board people. You know what I'm talking about. They came to come check out his place and ask him, you fucking with anybody? You kicking with anybody? And according to them, everything was unicorns and rainbows. Theo was in good spirits. It's the holiday season. The nigga wasn't depressed. He was cool as a cucumber, right? And he was still sticking to his story that he was rolling solo dolo. Well, this particular month, and I don't know if maybe these visits were weekly, but he was supposed to have had another check-in on December 13th. But the social worker, the person that's responsible for making sure that this matrimonial murderer is in his right mind, They called out sick that particular day, so Theo didn't have no appointment, right? And I don't know if that would have made a difference. I do believe that this low-down scoundrel was going to do what the fuck he was going to do, and that's exactly what he did. Baby, tell me why. December 15th, 2016. Theo made up a reason to get Angela over to his place, right? He calls her up and tells her that he needs her help. He's got paperwork that he needs to get together for an appointment with the Jamaican embassy. Remember, he was born in Jamaica, so I'm sure living in the UK on his Jamaican passport. Every so often, he got to go down there and, tighten up on his paperwork, right? And I don't understand how 2 convictions for killing a motherfucker didn't get him kicked out of the country, but that's a story for another day. But however, whatever, Angela clearly was like, all right, babe, I'll come over there and I'll help you. And so not thinking anything of it, which was really gonna really end up bad for Angela, because Theo was on his shit that particular day. Baby, when she got up in that house, do y'all know this pussy ass need to sit your ass down somewhere ass sexagenarian opened up a can of whoop ass on Angela? Yes, the fuck he did. Baby, he beat Angela all upside the head with a clay hammer to the motherfucking white meat. And all the time she trying to get away. But she's seeing stars. This motherfucker is literally hammering her head. And so he is overpowering her. And I guess knocking her in the head with the hammer wasn't enough. So the robe that come with your belt, your house coat around the house, he got that robe and he takes that belt off and he wraps it around Angela's throat and he strangles her. Damn it. Now Angela gone to the upper room. This nigga on his if I can't have you, nobody will. Ain't that just a pussy ass trifling waste of flesh? I hate that. Motherfucker who don't do right and then want to goddamn just do all the wrong things when it's too late. Like, what the fuck? But please, New Orleans Nation, understand there is more. Because you would think that this is horrible. Angela is dead. Clearly, this nigga finna go to jail, right? After he disconnected Angela, now he back to wanting to take himself out the game, too. He had tried to unalive himself by a tree, and that didn't work. So this time, Theo is thinking bigger. Y'all, this low-down, limp dick linchpin of evil, this motherfucker went to the train station and jumped in front of a train. Now, I ain't gonna even hold you. That's a decisive way to go if you go. You know what I'm saying? If you catch a train with your face, it should get the job done. And I'm sorry, when I seen the shit, what was that, Final Destination? No, that was a bus. So a train go faster than a bus. That shit look painful. And if I gotta say so myself, getting hit in the face with a train, I think that's a fitting end for this trifling motherfucker. But I'm just a mere human. Oh, baby, my sweet black Jesus was like, we can do better than that. Not today, Satan. You gonna answer for this shit. That's right. Your boy did not die. Oh, he was fucked up for sure. Make no doubt about that. You get hit with a train, you not walking away with that with just some little scratches and bruises, right? He caught the 318 express train with his whole frontal type shit. And baby, that train did what a train gonna do when it's coming in hot and heavy and you in the way. Baby, they had to close down the Chestnut? It's not Chestnut, it's Chestnut train station that day so they could mop up Theo's ass. But what was left of that murderer that murdered the women that he loved? Oh, baby, that motherfucking train took both his arms. Bitch, you just a torso and a neck. And you still gonna sit here and live through it because your limbs gone. You got legs, you just a straight like rectangle. Whatever, nigga. Ripped his arms clean off his body. Beat that ass up real good with that goddamn train. And so now Theodore Johnson is in a wheelchair. And y'all know my mind is a little warped. I gotta wonder, how the fuck does that work? Because you need arms to goddamn roll that goddamn wheelchair, right? So how in the fuck did Theo get around? Because I know they didn't spring for no electric joint back then. That motherfucker ain't got no jazzy. So how the fuck did he move that chair? I tell you, questions that need answers. I told you it was gonna be a palate cleanser of soot. I'm sort. I'm sorry. Okay, so when they scoop his ass off the tracks, of course, they go to his house because they're trying to figure out, what the fuck is going on with this man. And so when they get to his house, that's when they find Angela. She is lying dead on the floor in the living room, right? And so now they understand, oh, you was trying to kill yourself because you had killed her. But guess what, motherfucker? You are still alive and we don't care that you fucked up. We are finna prosecute that ass. And that's exactly what the fuck they did. And so the prosecutor, man named Mark Haywood, he did what he had to do. He was like, we got to handle this shit. And I like the judges over there. They're different. It was called the Judge, the Common Sergeant of London. That judge's name was Richard Marks. And baby, Judge Marks, his flabbers was gasted. He was like, this motherfucker is a repeat offender. He has got 3 separate cases. This is unprecedented. You absolutely right, Judge. This shit is unfucking precedented. How the fuck y'all let this nigga out 3 goddamn times? Well, 2 times so he can get to a 3rd one. Like, I hope y'all do go by the 3 strikes you out rule. But goddamn, did it really need to take 3 strikes? Y'all couldn't get this right from the first Yvonne? Baby. I just, and he got on the mental institution as well, because he was like, what the fuck? Y'all had one job to make sure that this motherfucker was crystal clear that he was never to be around a woman. That was your only job, to make sure that never happened. Didn't nobody do a stakeout after they found the robe? Like, y'all needed to go follow this motherfucker, put an ankle monitor on this motherfucker, do something. 3 times? Yeah, the judge was not having that shit. And it's crazy because it was like he understood, because he said as such that if they had really did their job the first 2 times, I mean, the first one, okay, he made a mistake, but the second time, I mean, that's a pattern. If they had took care of business with that, Angela would still be alive. Like right now, still living her best life, grandchildren, all that shit. She had 4 children. Like, what in the whole fuck? Like, how in the hell do you only have one job? One job. Child. Well, the defense for, oh boy, his name was Annette Henry, and they said it was a he though. Annette, Arnett, I don't know. Either way, Miss Henry, he got up and he was like, look, this nigga say he hate himself for what has happened. Mr. Johnson will lead a miserable experience, and it's doubtful that he will be released alive from any sentence. It's likely that he gonna die in prison, which is what that shit should have happened long time ago. First Yvonne, second Yvonne, pick one. Like, he should have never been able to see the light of day ever. Like, he should live with the slow, painful life and guilt chasing him around his cell every day till the devil call his ass home. Every day of his miserable life should be filled with pain, right? Like, this nigga ain't got no arms. I hope that the top of his head just itch like he got a quick weave. You know what I'm saying? And he can't get to it because he ain't got no arms. I hope that his nose always got that, I need to sneeze, but I can't get it out, and you can't scratch that motherfucker out. Like, I want you to be filled with all kinds of pain, not just the physical pain from that goddamn train mowing your ass down, but like all kinds of shit that you itches in places that you just can't fucking get to because you ain't got no motherfucking arms. Child, this a palate cleanser, all right, but this a motherfucker, right? So he does eventually go to trial once he get out of the hospital or whatever. And, they do it a little different over there in the UK. Theodore Johnson was sentenced to life in prison. But life didn't necessarily mean life. It means that he had to do a minimum of 26 years before he could ask to go outside again, right? And that all went down, and there was a little public outcry because they was like, what the fuck, 3 goddamn women, at least give 10 years for each woman. So they bumped it up in 2018 to 30 years that he would have to do minimal, which would put him eligible to ask to go outside when he was around 91 years old.
This is going to be an extremely busy month. I have to watch 104 soccer games, follow the pregame, the postgame, yell useless opinions at the TV. It's a lot. So I knew that when it comes to screening for colon cancer, the choice was clear. The Cologuard Plus test. It can be used at home and can only take 15 minutes, so I can do it during halftime and not miss any action. If you are 45 or older and at average risk, ask your healthcare provider about screening for colon cancer with the Cologuard test. You can also request a prescription at Cologuard.com.
Now, in the UK, they don't put their inmates on Front Street like we do. So where he is, what his inmate number is, or even if he is still alive, I have no idea. But if this pussy motherfucker is still alive, he would be 72 years old. And that, New Orleans Nation, is the story of Theodore Johnson, a.k.a. Killer Bae. Like, God damn, how the fuck you bae, but when shit don't go your way, you gonna take your bae out the game. I understand that mental illness is a thing. I do. But there's mental illness, and then there's, you just don't have a conscience, and you have a skill that you like to use as often as you can, because killing one person, okay, crime of passion. Let's just say that you real serious about being able to serve the Lord. However the fuck you want to serve the Lord. You don't tell me what I got to put on. Okay, it was a crime of passion. All right, it's a stretch, but I'll give you that. 2 more times? Hell, fuck to the now. And I am still stuck on the fact that he killed Yvonne number 2, his baby mama, with the baby upstairs, y'all. Like, how in the hell was he able to wiggle out of that? You've taken someone's life and you have altered the life of a child. She'll never be the same. She doesn't have a mother or a father. And the next year after you do that, here, go outside and play. Yeah, you can go outside. What the fuck kind of legal system do we have? Like, what? Well, I know that's not us. This is in the UK. But as we're all humans, as a collective, what kind of legal systems do we have when we allow for people to kill people, which should be the most heinous crime that one could ever commit? We also pro-life. We don't want to kill no babies, but we don't have no problems when these babies grow up to be big men and big women, and they kill people, and then we give them little slaps on the wrist. I thought all lives matter. Like, what the fuck? It boggles my mind. That man killed that woman, and then they let him out to go outside and play 12 months later. Make it make sense. And these mental institutions that have this discretionary power to be able to do this shit, if anybody needs some more oversight, it's their asses, because this is not the first story where we have talked about an institution that was keeping someone who had been sentenced in a court of law, mandated to be within the walls of the institution for the rest of their life, or whatever case may be. I don't give a fuck how good y'all are. You could be the Mayo Clinic and the goddamn Scottish Rite and the Grady and all that shit wrapped up into one, but you still can't cure a motherfucker who has killed 2 of his previous love interests in 12 months. You just cannot do that. Like, what the fuck? They let him out with a companion, sure, but then, like, within a span of 18 months, he was able to go out by himself. Thankfully, I guess the silver lining in this is that this particular serial killer only liked to kill the women that he was romantically involved with versus just any woman to do. I guess, you know, as long as you were not romantically involved with Theodore Johnson, you were basically safe. But for the women who met this man and found him charming, because clearly he had to have some type of personality, because he was with Angela for damn near 20 years. I mean, I don't know this lady from a can of paint, but you don't put up with no bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, is just mind-boggling. They gave him 3 opportunities to kill, and he took full advantage of all 3 of them. The sentencing of 3 years for pushing Yvonne number 1 off the 9th floor is the biggest travesty I've ever heard of in my life. He pushed that woman off the 9th floor of a building. Maybe 6 seconds, maybe quicker than that, but those were the longest seconds of that woman's life. All because she was on her way to go praise the Lord, and he decided it was time for her to go meet the Lord. And y'all let him out in 36 minutes.
This episode is brought to you by Accenture. When your advertising operations fall out of sync, everything else follows. Spotify and Accenture are working together to reinvent the rhythm of ad sales, using automation, analytics, and smarter workflows to simplify campaign delivery and access better data across the business. The result? Less time spent on operations, more time connecting brands with the moments and fandoms that matter most. Learn more at accenture.com/Spotify.
Need a laptop that's built to perform and designed to last all day? Select Windows 11 PCs starting at $499.99 are now at Best Buy. Learn more at bestbuy.com. Best Buy. Imagine that.
Months. Jesus be offense. That's all I got to say about this one, New Orleans Nation. Honey, I got to get ready for New Orleans. Y'all tell me what y'all think. You know how to get at me. I am Melanin Mayhem Podcast on all of the socials except for X. Over there, I am Melanin Mayhem PC. You can reach me by email if that's more your ministry. I am melaninmayhempodcast at gmail.com. Oh my goodness, y'all. It is time for me to pack. But before I go, I got to read a shout out for this week's Newer Nation. This week's Newer Nation shout out. And I got a couple of them because I read one and baby, I have been giggling about this shit unnecessarily since I read it. So I got to give a shout out to Ruby. And it's spelled REWBEE. I like that. Ruby76 left a review on Spotify about the Green Mile Gangsters. And baby, Miss Ruby, you my type of people. Ruby said, I ain't heard Booger Bell since Booth shot Lincoln. Baby, Ruby, that's my kind of shenanigan. I believe we could sit together at the cookout, baby. It don't make no sense why that has tickled my soul so many times. Baby, I think about that and I be like, what? I wonder what Miss Ruby doing. Since Booth shot Lincoln. I got to figure out a way to work that into the podcast one day. Consider that stolen, honey. And then I also wanted to shout out Cream D ! Cream D ! 8 gave me an idea and I wanted to shout him out. Also on Green Mile Gangsters, Cream D ! 8 said, I would love it if we could call in and talk back. Your voice is Wendy Williams Radio Lovely. You could definitely keep us entertained and informed like us. Looking forward to your comeuppance. Cream D ! 8 from yo typing to God's ears, everything that will be. Thank you so much for saying that. But I am gonna do something with that call in. I got some ideas and I think we can talk and make some stuff happen, because I bet if I put the number out there for y'all to call, the New Orleans Nation is going to call the country girl. So thank you for putting that idea in my head. I can't wait to see what I can do with it. Again, thank you both Ruby76 and Cream D ! 8 for taking time out of your day to not only listen to the country girl, but to also write me a wonderful review. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. And keep listening. And please tell everybody you know about the Melanin Mayhem podcast. The doors are always open. We ain't stingy over here at the New Orleans Nation. We want one and we want all. So tell everybody you know, put me in the group chat and let everybody know that it goes down over at Melanin Mayhem Podcast. And if they're the type to be like, you know what, I don't like to be talking about crime like like that ain't my thing. I don't know how you do it, because there are those, I don't know, the people who don't like true crime, whatever. But that's why the Melanin Mayhem original story series exists, for those people who ain't necessarily into the criming of it all, but they like a good story. Tell them to go on ahead and fuck with your girl. You know what I'm saying? I got you. But it's, I like to record in the wee hours of the morning, y'all. It's like 3:45 and I ain't packed. I ain't did nothing. And I got to go to the doctor in the morning, and I'm supposed to go to work, but I don't know if that's going to happen. But until we meet again next week, and about that, if I hit y'all with a flashback, blaming on the fact that New Orleans was just everything, I am literally going to take my laptop with me. I am. But I don't know if I'm going to open that mug. I'm going to just be real. The story that I was going to give you this week is heavy. And again, I don't want to bring my mood down. And so I don't know. I think I might hit y'all with a flashback next weekend, but I am giving you ample warning that I may or may not. But I also do plan to do some stuff on the social media pages. So if you are in the discussion group, I will be going live while we are in New Orleans, because I'm gonna share my times with you. I'm gonna put some stuff up, and it's New Orleans, so in my mind, y'all know I love a good cemetery. I feel like I'm gonna fall into some really good stories that I can really just throw out there off the cuff. And so just know the country girl got you. Even if I have to do a flashback on next Wednesday, I'm gonna also fill in the blanks and make sure that we get our one-on-one time with some other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't gonna never leave y'all out there like that, because I love you too much. But I got to get in the kitchen and polish this up just a teensy-weensy bit so I can get it ready to be posted for your 7:30 a.m. drives into work. Until we speak again next week, y'all know how we close the doors of the church. I need y'all to stay safe and baby, stay vigilant. Be on the lookout for these niggas that like to love them and then kill them. Honey. And if you don't remember anything else, remember this. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. It's one love, New Orleans Nation, and your favorite country girl is out of here.
Ooh-wee, Nana, you did that.